Hello and welcome. My name's Tamie Yost, and I'm here at Restorative Healthcare talking to Dr. Heather Wisniewski. Dr. Heather, do we really need to worry about pollution?
Yes, this is a question I get asked on a regular basis, and it's something that I'm quite passionate about. In 2005, I was working out in a gym when I actually stumbled across an article, and I believe it was either Time or Newsweek, that stated that Illinois, actually Lake DuPage and Cook counties, were cited by the World Health Organization with the worst air quality. And we had until 2008 to clear up that air pollution. As I did more research into it, I found many articles in the Tribune, which have been since then followed up through with the Tribune in the health section. We were also listed in 2009 in Forbes magazine as the third most toxic city in America with air pollution. So in particular around these areas around Chicago, we are inhaling a lot of very dangerous chemicals. And one of the biggest ones is mercury. Mercury is very high in levels, and people will come in and say, I have no mercury fillings. Why do I still have mercury showing up in blood tests? It's because we're breathing it every single day, along with PCBs, coal tar from the processing from Mobil, BP, and other oil refineries in the area that are down in Lockport and southern regions of the state. So we have to be really, really considerate that when we go jogging in the summer with all these elevated chemicals, we are actually breathing in those chemicals at a high rate. So when the temperatures elevate, those chemicals are pushed closer to the ground, and we are able to breathe them in much easier in a higher concentration. As winter comes, those chemicals get compressed to the earth. They range about 6 to 8 inches from the earth, and the cold weather keeps them really, really down low. As heat rises, so do the gases rise. We have not cleaned up our air, unfortunately. We are still ranked among the top 10 in worst air quality. It has a lot to do with the environmental allergies that we see that are so high, and it is also linked to the reason why we have the highest incidence of asthma in this area. So if you really want to look further into this, check out the Tribune. There's also an environmental protection agency that was built in Lake County specifically just to be continuously monitoring the air quality in our area, and that they are still watching it. Best time to catch these people is usually they drive around in trucks late at night, usually after midnight. I followed one, never got to talk to anybody because I think I freaked them out because I was following them. I knew what they were doing. They were here in Lombard and Glen Ellen area, but they were labeled an EPA truck, and they were actively measuring. They were catching air samples and actually measuring what was going on. So it's really, really important in our area to watch your activities in the summer, especially with pollution.
What kind of things could happen to us from breathing in these pollutions?
Well, it definitely has an effect on our ability to handle other toxins. So if we're breathing in more pollution and we eat something that isn't quite the best for us, we may have a reaction to it more severe and not understand why. It'll definitely affect our breathing, a lot of exercise-induced asthma, and it can actually in the long run have effects on your hair and your hormones.
Is there something we can do to protect ourselves from this pollution that we're just surrounded by?
Eating a clean diet, eating healthy, eating a lot of green vegetables, taking a green drink daily, especially a green drink that's loaded with kale and cilantro and even beets to help the liver, will help to keep processing those chemicals you're breathing in and getting them out faster.
Any special precautions due to summer and the heat?
Yeah, when the heat indexes are up and they give those warnings, don't jog, listen to them. I was amazed. There's been heat warnings the last few days since we've been in these upper 90s, and every day I see people jogging even though there's advisories not to. There are reasons there are those advisories, and they are in the best interest of our health if we pay attention.
Is there anything else that you haven't already touched on that you'd like to share with the people listening?
I think one of the biggest things is if you want to exercise, do it indoors when the temperatures are those temperatures, when the indexes are high. Also, this year in particular, along with the pollution, we have an elevated amount of drier desert molds because of how dry we've been. So mold allergies are kind of different this year than they have been in the past. So if you notice that you've been good with your allergies and you've been seeing me and suddenly they've kind of spiked up, come in because we need to boost or something and switch things around. Other than that, just listening to what they're saying is really important. They are advising us in a very healthy manner if we follow what they say.
So basically, pay attention to your body, pay attention to what's being said about the weather and the environment, and if you have any questions, come on in to see you, right?
And eat more greens.
Eat more greens.
Greens, greens, greens. Nano greens, green juice.
All right. Well, if anybody has any needs to get some nano greens and or would like to come in and talk to Dr. Heather in person, feel free to please give us a call and we'll schedule an appointment time with Dr. Heather. Thank you very much.
Have fun this summer.